Is that even on? Should be. Oh, no, it's not even on. How about that? Ha! There I am. Let me fix my outfit here. All out of sorts. I don't remember if this is what I wore yesterday or not. It doesn't matter, because I don't feel like changing anything right now. Let's go upstairs. How was my day? My day was great, Kitty. How was your day? Let's talk about it. Let's go on. Enough of that. Let's turn on the music. We got our normal soundtrack, but some pogo mixed in with some old-timey video games. Are we ready to do this? Let's get into this. I think this one's pretty long, although I'm not sure it's as long as some of the ones we've done. Clean the Lost City Palace. Harper and I... This palace definitely looks related to the statues in the desert. 2250. You got new glasses? Your glasses look very nice, Kitty. You have very pretty glasses. Let's clean this. I have the same glasses as I've had for a while, but I only got new glasses because the last ones were... let's say ripped apart by a dog. Let's say for some reason they were ripped apart by a dog. I'll say that much. Let's start at the tippy top. Let's start all the way up here. Like as high as we can go and work from here. Are you drooling too wishy? It's impossible for anywhere to smell more delicious than this place. It's like walking into a huge bowl of shrimp cocktail where they... why am I reading that? It's not relevant. Also, talking about cats at the marina. I really hate to tell them this, but I have never cared about the lore of the game. And I know that that's not a huge, enormous shock. That Roar is not super excited about the lore of a video game, but the lore for Power Wash Simulator especially seems silly. It's like your whole thing is, who cares? I just want to clean your stuff. Just give me a stuff to clean. I don't need a elaborate Lara Croft backstory on why we are bringing your, cleaning your ancient civilization statue. No one cares. Just to point me at where I need to clean. Shrimp or crab, just in general? Like, if I could have a big plate o' shrimp or a big plate o' crab, which would I rather have? It's a good question. It really depends on how they're prepared. Because crab is okay. Crab's okay, at best, in my humble opinion. But it just feels like a waste for me because it's such little amounts of meat for what you get, and you have to kill the damn thing. And it's like, I feel guilty eating like more than one claw because it's like that was 2 crabs. And yeah, I know it's silly because you eat chicken breasts all the time, and that was more than one chicken. I know it doesn't make sense. It's just more of a visual reminder of, oh yeah, this was a thing that was alive and now you're eating it. That said, and for some reason it does not extend to shrimp. Like shrimp, you're eating the whole thing. You're eating an entire beast. A very tiny beast, but a beast nonetheless. And it even looks like the thing, it doesn't change what the thing looks like. You're eating shrimp. Like, hey, I just plucked this out of the sea like an otter. That said, I don't know. I just have never been a huge fan of the non-kosher meats. And that's not a, for any real particular reason other than I just never got accustomed to them. By the time I got, by the time I was eating all my own stuff, like I was buying our own food and preparing it on our own, it already sets in. You like hamburger, you like turkey, you like chicken, you like, white fishes, the ones without scale. If you eat catfish, you're going to hell. Like legitimate amounts, not going to hell per se, but legitimate amounts of side eyes you would get from religious folk if you were the one ordering catfish, because catfish is unclean. And the more I think about it, the more silly the idea seems in the grand year of our Lord 2025. Not that it did not have merit back in the day. There were reasons for it back in the day, allegedly. The cleanliness of meat and keeping things clean back then, because pigs were super worm ridden and still are in a lot of ways. It's like I hate to be defensive of the party line, but pork is a meat that you have to cook real well so that the parasites in the meat don't get inside your belly. Like, am I incorrect on that? Like, isn't that a thing where if you just don't cook ham or bacon or stuff enough, there's just the possibility that there might be some gross critters living inside your belly? And it's like, I'm not that hungry. I gotta be real. I'm not that interested in food that I actually need to worry about that. Now, if it's prepared properly, sure. But do I want to trust myself to prepare it? I have in the past. I've made ham. But it's like, honestly, I just like, I like bread. I like cheese. I could never be vegan. I totally could be vegan. I would not like being vegan, because there's too many delicious, wonderful things that you miss out on when you're vegan. You miss out on honey. You miss out on eggs. You miss out on a lot of kinds of bread, I think, right? You miss out on delicious. You miss out on pizza, or at least all real kinds of pizza. I'm not even doing air quotes. If it doesn't have, like, at least a little dairy in the crust, if it doesn't have a little cheese on the top, you can just, what the kids are saying, miss me with that. That's not delicious at all. Now, there are ways you could make a vegan style of pizza. How, without a recipe, what would be the best way to make a vegan style pizza offering? Like say as an hors d'oeuvre. Like say as an hors d'oeuvre. Let me think. Oh God, what channel is this? I don't need the channel with the child putting their socks on in the bed. Thank you very much, Eureka's Castle. Let me fix this. I'm pretty sure. Why? There we go. Sorry. Sometimes things get a little wonky when I reset my computer, and I'm not sure why. You were okay with the vegetarian diet, but your iron was not good, I'm assuming, is what you mean by that. It's not impossible, to get your iron, but it's a lot harder. I mean, so it would be... You really have to get it from what? Like leafy greens? Beans? Are there iron in beans? I don't know if there's any iron in beans. I don't have Willow up. Put her up. Let's do that. Let's find where she's at. 1 second. There you are. Turn you. Turn you. Excellent. Deficient. There. I gotcha. Are there any iron in beans? If you eat beans, do you get iron?
Beans are a good source of iron, Shidden. Black beans, chickpeas, lentils, they all got some iron in 'em. You'd be getting a decent amount from 'em too, especially if you cook 'em right.
What mood do you have? He's very furious and eager. Did some weird accent there. I didn't program that. Beets have iron? Beets are good. Kind of. In very small quantities. I'm not a huge beet fan, but they've grown on me. Kind of. For TV. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Mother Brain. That is from Captain N. And things that's just Mother Brain talking are probably going to get fed to Sandy. Because, yeah, her face is disturbing to look at. That said, there's thousands of other channels. You got stuff to do today? The TV moves so quick. It's like by the time you get it out, it's already like 4 channels down the line. Aw, this is a cool channel. Look at this channel with Mickey on it. I gotta say, I'm adding more and more channel blocks, and I am not, I don't have a problem with it. The more channel blocks I have, the better, because it's like everybody's gonna get their turn, and it's just gonna be more and more variety. Did I actually get everything from up there? No. Yes. How are you, kitty? Are you ready for the weekend? Florida man arrested for throwing Florida oranges at Turian hierarchy. That is a Mass Effect related Florida man. I should ask, I should make some Florida mans for Power Wash Sim. I should feed those into the chat bot and have it run some. Let's also do a bunger.
Bunger? Bunger, 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 bunger.
I'm gonna try and be, ever since Feelanoid said to do it like he does it more systematically, it's like, you know what? That is a damn good point. Should try, at least in the beginning, I try and be a little more systematic so I don't have to come back and do a whole bunch of stuff later that I only got to like 95% because I got lazy. Our next game night, I think, will be, well, I know it's going to be on Saturday, and it should be finishing up River City Girls. And then after that, we should be moving into Shantae. Be fun to spend time with the kids. We're going to Hollywood Studios. I like how this is a Bluey Roar TV channel. I really need to go into the Roar TV channels. But I don't want to. No, I'm going to leave the ones there because it's like I have like 10 or 15 Roar TV channels that are Bluey related, which seem a little superfluous now. Is this the Brunky Brewster drug channel? Oh, it is! Take these drugs, kid! No! Oh, adding Punky Brewster was an excellent decision. It's like, listen, Punky Brewster, she already knows she doesn't want drugs. If you want her to take the drugs, at least do a little better than putting them on the bare, what's it called? Wood. It's all dirty and shit. I'm glad that I watched all of Punky Brewster. I'm not sure I'm ever going to feel the compulsion for a rewatch, but I'm not necessarily opposed to it either. Didn't our kids go through a Punky Brewster phase? I feel like we encouraged them to watch some Punky Brewster. I mean, it's a good show. And they wouldn't watch Fraggle Rock, but they'd watch Punky Brewster. Like, she couldn't even put him in like a Ziploc bag or something. Do one of those things. I read a little while ago, somebody found like a Ziploc bag that had like the ends twisted off, and apparently it's used in by people who sell drugs, because they put like the little baggies in the corners of the Ziploc bags, and that's like little transportation for your drugs. This is not encouragement of any method like this. I just did not know that before this previous time. Do I want this Voyager channel while I take a drink? I don't think so. Get out of here. You made them watch it because it was your very favorite. Did they make it through all 4 seasons? I think it was an interesting change when Henry got, like, what was it, the Warnemont's place or whatever, like Henry's place. Didn't he end up like getting Uncle Mo's feed bag sort of style, like instead of having his photo business? Uncle Mo, here I am. It's me, Henry Warnemont. Please take the fries off my head, kid. The fries are extremely hot. I imagine it's going to be slow going at first because this area up here is so enormous, but there's also an inside with a lot more intricate stuff from what I understand. So the number at the top left is going distressingly slowly up, but I imagine it's going to get a little quicker upstairs. You're funny. You're funny. What are you looking forward to most on Saturday, Kitty? What do you want to go straight to? We got to get there at rope drop if we can. What ride do you want to focus on? I want to do Runaway Railway and Smuggler's Run. Anything else we do is superfluous. You know what I could do? You know what I have the ability to do, Kitty? I could make it so that it goes... Actually, No, I can't. Never mind. Never mind. I thought that I could make it so that it only does Hollywood Studios. Actually, you know what? I could. I could make it so that it only does Hollywood Studios Roar TV channels and like switch back and forth between just that. But you know what? We need some variety. I think only Hollywood Studios might get a bit much. Also, I've never tested that, so it might break everything. It would be nice to do Rise of the Resistance. We could do single riders. I believe that's open for Rise of the Resistance. Awakenings! Awakenings! Peter, it's not helping. Oh god, that one broke his nose. He didn't even flinch. Let's do your thing, Lois. Let's take him to the hospital and then we'll do your thing. We also got to figure out what we want to eat. What are our options? I don't want to go to probably don't want to go to a restaurant because that's expensive. What do we have that's decently priced? Relatively speaking. What's a good deal? We could be those tourists that bring in a backpack full of sandwiches and eat them under a tree. Do you want to be some of those tourists that bring a bunch of sandwiches and eat them under a tree? Because I don't particularly want to be one of those kinds of tourists. I'm not dogging on anybody. If you're not breaking the rules, I don't care what you do. But I think I think we can afford something. We could just get snacks. We could get snacks and then get like Taco Bell on the way home. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I kind of want some blue milk. Actually, I don't remember which milk is the good one. Is the milk with the green texture good? I know you don't like either of them. And I'm sorry to hear that. But I don't remember the difference between the green and the blue milks. If Pogo wasn't canceled, I think a Pogo tier list would be fun, but I'm pretty sure he's still terrible. Because this is a great song. I imagine this has something to do with the whole alien subtext, like subplot. A whole bunch of alien invasion sort of thing. Random sound effect. Watch your ears.
What do you say? What do you say?
You little brat. You've never thanked me. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Might even be a little quiet compared to that. Although I think that one is a particularly loud sound effect, so it's probably fine. Now, we watched the Groundhog Day Shuffler this year. What are we going to do next Groundhog Day? It might not be a stream day, so we might not need to worry about it. I feel like we might have tapped the well. We might have ran the well dry in the Groundhog Day department. We did the Groundhog Day Learnin' stream like a few years ago. We did The Groundhog Day Shuffler. I guess there's the stage show. Stage show is an option. Is the stage show on YouTube? Groundhog Day. 1 second. Groundhog Day musical stage show. I think it is. I'm gonna put that in my history. 2 hours. Oof. Where am I? Where am I? I have vertigo there for a second. Yeah, so maybe we could do the stage show next year. That might be an option. But other than that, I think we might have ran the well dry on Groundhog Day topic. I mean, what else is there to discuss? We could do a Groundhog Day perler, but even then, what would we do? A groundhog perler? That just seems silly. And a whole lot of my brown perlers that I'll have to go through. And I don't even like groundhogs all that much. I feel like, aren't groundhogs rodents? Hey, groundhogs are rodents, right? Are they classified as rodents?
Yeah, groundhogs are rodents, shouldn't. They're members of the rodent family, specifically Sciuridae.
Well, I'm assuming she's right, but I'm not trusting wholeheartedly. I have very mixed feelings on rodents in general. A lot of rodents are great. In the right context, rodents are great. And, you know, when a situation doesn't warrant a rodent, then they're nuisances. And it's like, dude, you gotta go. You gotta get out of here. What's going on with you? Now, you keep some rats, you keep some rodents, you keep a little kangaroo mouse. Oh, adorable. But you've got a rat in your pantry eating up all your flour and your mango bits and your creamo corn, and that is an invasion into your home. You can't have them coming into your house. They gotta go out into nature. They belong in nature. We've tainted their lives by being this free source of food. And how do they repay us? By chewing up the wires in the ceiling. Hasn't happened yet, but you never know. It's happened to a lot of people. Very inappropriate music for rat talk. Florida man tries to outrun Mako on foot. A Mako is like a not stupid Cybertruck, so best of luck with that. Basically, how quickly do you want to be run over by a ATV tank? If the answer is, gosh darn immediately, well, boy, do I have good news for you. No real interest in doing the other Mass Effect games. I need to start working on my schedule for months coming up. I'm good for quite a while, but I got to think about what I want to do starting like after my birthday. My birthday, as you may or may not know, Kitty, is in July. And I feel like... I'm kidding, I know you know that. And I feel like that might be a good turning point of like, where do we want to roll at this point? Also, it's the anniversary of the stream. PB&J rules, nice. We have J. What kind of J? What kind of J did you get? There's a little bit more dirt. Oh. No, where's the... There's just a tiny bit more dirt. Where is it? There it is. 4 fruits. I bet you... Is it like a berry blend? I bet you it's like a blackberry, a raspberry, a blueberry, and just to spice things up, durian. For when you really, really want your peanut butter sandwich to smell like just disease. I don't know if I've actually ever smelled durian. Yep, Costco. I'll have to try it. Is it good? I gotta say, I kind of miss crunchy peanut butter. I've gotten over my aversion to smooth peanut butter. Also, The Secret of Mana song. Great song. But, man... It's expensive, but I miss me some crunchy peanut butter. There's something about the texture that you just don't get with the creamy. Now that said, I think if you're just going in for just a spoonful of peanut butter, I think creamy might be the better option. I think crunchy goes better on a sandwich. It gives you more texture. But if you're just looking for like a hit of protein, and you don't want to get out your George Foreman and make yourself a patty melt, it's good to get it's good to get some crunchy peanut butter. You know what we could do, Kitty? About the whole holiday thing, we could say, here, happy Easter, go pick out a candy, and they could pick one of the, like, you know, Speck of Spaz sour strips from like the Emporium or whatever the Hollywood Studios version of it is. Where would be a good store to do that at Hollywood? Trying to think of the map of Hollywood. Like the best store, would it be like the Five and Dime? This is 2 Secret of Mana songs in a row. You want a cube of Froosh? I'm not into Froosh. God. What is the big store down in Hollywood? I can't think of one. The best one I can think of is the ones on the main streets. I can't think of the ones inside the park themselves. There's a bunch at Star Wars, at the Star Wars park, but I don't want, you know, with all due and blessed respect to Star Wars shit, I don't want Star Wars shit. I'm not interested in Star Wars merchandise, and I feel like as a red-blooded American, I'm allowed to have that opinion. Everybody else can have their Star Wars merchandise, which is great, but I don't think that's where we're gonna find cubes of Froosh. Oh, isn't there like a... There's a store in the Animation Center. Is this the 3rd Secret of Mana song in a row? You're supposed to be random. Secret of Mana has surprisingly good music for a game that's mostly just a, you know, RPG version of a beat 'em up. an action RPG, I guess. God, all the Roar TV channels are good. I think the vast majority are fine, are excellent even. Would I pick them, a lot of them myself? I wouldn't necessarily have, but I'm glad they're there. And it's wonderful. I do need to fix the Punky Brewster text because it's going off the screen, but that's because the titling is a little bad. There's a villain candy store by Tower of Terror. Good call. Yeah, I think you're right. On Hollywood Boulevard. Oh, good call. Do we need to ride... do we need to ride Aerosmith? And then after that, do we need to ride the attraction Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Aerosmith, the band? I'm fine either way. Okay. 1 second. You're joshing me. You're joshing me right now. You're joshing me. I feel like, unless the kids have a desire to, I don't want to take that away from them. Because even if we've ridden it a million times, we can't say they have. They've ridden it a few times. That said, I mean, it's going to be the exact same ride. It's just not Aerosmith. Like, do they care? Do they care that it's not going to be Aerosmith anymore? It's going to be the Muppets now. Everyone likes the Muppets. That right there was me falling off. It's art. Really, really cool to see 10% completion on a map after like a half hour. It's like, oh, that looks promising. But I want to complete the outside before we go inside. I want to make sure everything on the outside looks good. Like, there is a Starbucks in the park. This Spunky Brewster channel can probably go. Nothing really special on that one. Depending on the crowds and how hot it gets. What is the weather supposed to be like tomorrow? Let me check the... Looking down at my phone. Tomorrow, the weather is supposed to be... Well, it's supposed to be Saturday. High of 89. Yeah, well, it is what it is. High of 89 is not terrible. Bring a hat. I'm gonna bring my little hat that we got from Mexico. Amazingly well-priced hat too. Like, I know that it's a pretty basic hat, but it's a theme park. You would think that the prices would be enormous for every style of hats, but that was a reasonably priced hat. Wear the ball cap. I don't remember what was on the ball cap. Was it like the 4 parks? Like, I feel bad getting it because I sort of like, you know, here's the design. I hope you like it. But, you know, life changes on a dime. Sometimes you want to switch things up, and I appreciate you letting me get a hat that suits me. Let me have a hat like a, not necessarily a cowboy hat, which is fine because I don't think cowboy hat was really what I was looking for. I have my straw hat that I wear when I walk around outside, but that's not appropriate for, you know, the theme parks. Clean all of this here. What am I actually cleaning? A lot of this is algae, so I haven't been reading the terrible story. I'm assuming that this was, you know, once covered in water. I have not needed the scaffolding for anything, but I might to clean like the front of these things. On the plus side, I think it was a good design. You know, I figured that I was stuck for it. I was going to get whatever design I was going to get, but I like to choose a hat that I thought would look nice. So when you saw me wearing it, we were like, oh, that hat looks terrible on him, because it kind of what it felt like, but I needed something. Oh, there's a Hollywood Studios channel right there. It's a terrible channel. What am I looking forward to? Oh, golly. I definitely want to ride Runaway Railway and Smuggler's Run. Frankly, I don't want to say we could leave because I don't want to leave after that. But my desire is to ride those two things so that I'm able to ride those things. Like, I'm able to have that knowledge. And that should be fun. Like, seeing the videos, all of that's on Roar TV now. Excuse me. Not the same as riding. It will never replace riding the ride. It's a cool, you know, temporary side, you know, temporary band-aid until you're able to ride the ride again, but it is not the same. So it will be nice to actually ride the ride and see how it feels, you know? Alright, I've been ignoring this section because, oh god. Okay, so I haven't even looked inside yet. So this is what we're rocking on the inside. Oh, okay. This might not be a one-night thing. We'll see, but holy god, that looks like something else. I'm not particularly awake. I mean, I am at the moment, but I don't know if I will be by the end of this. So if we are rocking a hot 40% by the time we're done with the stream, then I think that will be okay for a thing this big. We were talking on the Discord earlier. One of the ideas that I thought sounded kind of interesting, you know what would be kind of fun? Like, would be like doing a ranking of all the jobs I've ever had. For obvious reasons, I couldn't mention a lot about, like, specifics about my current role, but there's plenty of jobs I've had in the past. Like, I can go into I could rank my current role, but I can't, like, this is why this is good and this is why it sucks sort of thing. Florida man evicted from the Magic Kingdom for declaring himself king of Frontierland. The Florida mans are great because they are almost plausible. Like, that sounds like something someone might have done in Florida. Bart, stop teasing your sister. Lisa, drink the damn water. looks like... How are we doing here? What have I gotten so far? Have I gotten all... Oh, God. It looks so nice from very, very specific angles. Like, looking at it from one point of view, it looks real good. And then you just look at it just a little bit sideways. And you're like, oh, I missed an entire swath of dirt. What is wrong with me? I do like the color this is turning. This is this very pale shade of teal, like this bluish, tealish color. I kind of wonder, it's sea coded, I think. It's very much related to the sea. And also I wonder if it's almost inspired by Minecraft because of like the prismarine. It is very much a prismarine. That said, maybe the color is just prismarine and I'm just projecting because I'm a nerd that likes Minecraft. Could go either way, to be 100%. And honestly, I've not played a lot of Minecraft lately. It's been a day and a half since I've played Minecraft. And that's not literal, that's a euphemism. It's been a dog's age. This channel sucks. You know what? I think I can actually change... No, never mind. I'll do that later. Channel 695, I need to redo. Some of these Roar TV channels, I've been replacing them manually because the timing got screwed up when I converted them. So a lot of them that may have sucked before are fixed now. They're fixed now. What do you boys want? I'm really looking forward to taking a peek at the Christmas channels and the Halloween channels because I could do the same thing with the Christmas and Halloween channels. I could have a specific Christmas channel. That was right into the microphone, sorry. I could have like a Roar TV channel block for the normal Christmas channels and do something like the Christmas story. I could do, I could run it on the Christmas story. What is RC? What is, oh, that's Royal Caribbean. Trying to think of all the subfolders. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a cruise line one. Tomorrow I'm not working, so I have some time to, you know, kiss my wife on the face and also fix some things. I got distracted thinking about kissing my wife's face and I forgot what the things was. What was I going to fix? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. The important thing is I'll have time to fix it. Maybe I need to make a checklist. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to make like a task list of all the things I need to do. Wall niche. Come on. Like, straight up, no way. Maybe it's underneath? It's gotta be on top. Do I have a ladder? Do I really have to get the stupid scaffold? Where is it? As far away as humanly possible? No way I walked all the way around. Absolutely awesome. Hey, big lad, what's up? What's going on, Philanoid? What's going on? We've been working on a Lost City, and it's been a doozy, and I think it's going to be a more than one night thing. Do not let you eat and drink anything in the morning, please. Sure, because you have to do a thing at 12:30, something like that. In the morning, you've got a thing to do, and I'll make sure you don't break fast. How are you feeling, Lloyd? Are you ready to well, I was about to say ready to finish the main quest, but yeah, we ain't finishing this map today. I'm almost 100% sure. This map is wild. 12:30. Good to know. That's okay. That'll give me time. Before and after that, it'll give me time to work on stuff. It's like I've got my own appointment, and then we have other time to work on stuff. Fresh from a nap. How was the nap? Was it everything you dreamed it was? No pun intended. Like a nap sounds good tomorrow. I don't take naps a lot anymore. You know what the problem is? You know what the problem is with naps? I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Sometimes whenever I lie down for a nap, it's like my brain like goes into overdrive and it just thinks, "The hell are you doing? What are you doing? We're only on this world for a certain amount of time and you're going to sleep? What's wrong with you? It sucks. You go out there and I don't know, do anything." And then I can't take a nap. And it's stupid because, yeah, but why would I want to go do things and be tired? But you think my dumbass brain knows that, like, cares? It gives a single shit about my objections? Okay. Good nap, touch long. I think that 3 hours is the perfect length for a nap. Like, don't colloquially at me, but 3 hours is just about the perfect length for a nap. What am I missing on this thing? Nap gives you the well-rested perk. Only if you sleep in an unknown bed. This bed belongs to somebody else. It's real sweaty. That's probably why you don't get the well-rested if you sleep, like, on a mattress in, like, the subway. Because you spend the whole night thinking, it's like, okay, what creature birthed itself on this mattress that I'm sleeping on? It's like, you don't have nice dreams thinking about that. That's just my theory. And I gotta say, it is a good one. You, get over here. I think I will sleep very well tonight. I get to sleep in a little bit. I can't sleep in forever, but honestly, I don't like sleeping in forever anyways. Sleeping in past 5:40? I just smiled real big. I don't know if it picked up on the camera, but I just smiled real big thinking of being able to sleep past 5:40. Even on Saturday, we'll probably wake up a little before 7. Is there anything that has... Are they doing the digital queue for anything at Hollywood? I don't think so anymore. I think everything you just walk into line. Or you have the pay for fast pass. This thing is covered in barnacles, so I guess it is presumed that this thing was underwater at some point. What's going to suck is doing all of this terrible outside work, and then it's like, here's your 30% done, everything else is on the inside. Have fun, jackass. Gotta relax and chill your shit. You know what's really ironic? If you know what they say, if you smoke a little of the herb of the ganja, it helps you sleep, and I can't attest to that one way or another because, you know, for reasons I choose not to get into. But if I imbibe on the funny leaf too late, I cannot sleep. I can't sleep for beans. It's like it's like my sleep apnea. It's weird because it almost like activates manual breathing. It's like it doesn't matter that you have a machine that forces positive air into your face hole. It's very, very hard to sleep. So I usually don't partake all that late anymore. You gotta have a good night's sleep because otherwise you wake up and it's like, I gotta work. Why do I want to feel like shit at work? I want to get some good sleep. That's a lot of flashing in that Roar TV channel. Too late now. I think it's fine. I probably need to program in a get rid of last channel, but I'm not sure how that would work. Because the timer is relatively short on Roar TV switches, I feel like I feel like I need to make an update to that. Definitely didn't forget what I was talking about in the first half of that sentence because I was watching the goose and I was thinking of the shovel and I completely lost my train of thought. It's a good Pluto channel. Like just 1,000% lost my train of thought. That one I did see because it was really bright and white on the other monitor. Very nice. I've been getting some of those toll scammers again, and I'm getting really tired of sending them Tub Girl. I need some really terrible things to send them. The problem is I don't want to find new terrible things because then I'm just scarring myself for no damn reason. So I gotta think of the things I've seen and send them some new terrible shock images to make them rethink their life. And I know that it just goes to a bot service and probably no one will read it, but it's going to end up on someone's cache somewhere. And the idea that someone might go through a possible phone reaction to one of their scams and have to see Tub Girl, Mr. Hands is a classic. Is there a video of Mr. Hands? Birth video? Birth video would probably screw them up big, to be honest, because it's like a whole... It's like a whole misogynist culture in the telemarketing era. It's like once you reveal like women are involved, and then the bitch things start to fly. It's like, oh, you're terrible because you're a woman, sort of. And I don't understand the mentality, but it seems to be very much prevalent. Like, I know of the story of, you know, the aforementioned hands-related person, but I was not aware there was video evidence. Florida man breaks into castle, insists he's rescuing a princess. There's no castles in Florida. The only castle in Florida are the ones produced by the Walt Disney World Company. and possibly medieval times. There's a castle at medieval times. There's not even White Castle. We got Crystal. I added a, we just passed by a Punky Brewster channel. This video evidence, you think you've seen a video of someone dropping it on somewhere like chat roulette or something? Dark Af. Yeah, that might be more than I'm willing to do as a bit. It's one thing to send a photo. Maybe I'll stick with the Goat Man. It's surprisingly hard to find the Goat Man these days. Like, Google's so ruined that, like, I don't know. The last time I was looking for it, all you can find are stupid memes of people drawing very vague circles and threes and backwards threes. And it's like, look, it's cute, but I need the Goat Man. Dark as fuck. No, you mean like visible. Oh. Otherwise, it's extremely cheery. Dude didn't light the barn. I'm assuming they didn't want to be, you know, super obvious about it. I'm not here to, you know, I'm not here to discuss their motives, but I assume that they did not want to advertise their presence. Oh man, I was trying to think. It might be a bit much to send them the entire video, but I just thought I could run it through the Roar TV maker and send them a random 3-second clip. That would be real small. The Mr. Hands Roar TV channel block. Isn't there a castle on the other side of Florida? I know that there's like a coral castle. There's like a coral castle like in South Florida, like in the Keys, that some guy made for his like his wife or something. I don't know. He made it all by hand, and it was basically the workings of a crazy person. I could just send them cake farts. You know what I really like? Cake farts. Let's get this done. The Fountain of Youth. I mean, they never found the Fountain of Youth, though. You know they never did, because it would be owned by the government now. And we'd never know about it. And they found the Fountain of Youth, didn't they? The Fountain of Youth is 100% covered up by like a water tower, isn't it? The Fountain of Youth is like under a fake disposal plant. Is this going to be like a teleporter to Atlantis? This is the Lost City Here, I'm going to take a picture of this, and let me find somewhere to spray a lot, and I'll let you read it. But I need to find like a really dirty spot. You know where I mean in Florida? Like up north? Northish? Northwestish? Like near the Panhandle? I found a video today that was talking about all of the potential states that never were. And it was like the entire map was ripped up like a CK3 map. Your dirty spot. I've been getting really into RimWorld lately. It's been quite an adventure, and I really wish I had the DLCs, but I don't want to spend full price on them. I'm a dirty spot in the bedroom. It's like a it's like a Chinese food fortune cookie. It's like, you are a very good power washer in the bedroom. It's like, thanks. Is this like a scary movie joke with like the ceiling? Is that where you're going with this fortune cookie? Okay, here, let me clean this, and here, I'll put this on. Nope. I'll put this on the screen for a minute. Here, you can read this for the amount of time it takes for the Jeopardy theme to play. Ready, go. That's so loud. That's so loud. Let's turn that down just a tiny bit. Da 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 da. There you go. Congratulations, you've read it more than I have. I was mentioning earlier, I could not care less. As I have said from day one, I am here to clean a thing. A Pacific Atlantis? Now I want to read it. No wonder it was lost. What channel is this? 460. In fact, I'm sending this. I need to fix that channel. For the most part, the channels are broken, and some of them are broken because they just move too fast. And whenever that happens, I have all of the old GIFs, and I just remake it. So I just go in that tomorrow, remake channel 470. St. Augustine. Are those considered castles? I think they're more like forts. What's the difference between a fort and a castle?
A fort's usually temporary or makeshift, often used for defense in a specific situation, while a castle's a more permanent structure, designed to be a long-term stronghold. Shit in.
Shit in. St. Augustine has a castle? They might, as far as I know. Like, you'd think I'd know more about St. Augustine, but honestly, it's kind of like, I need to stop saying like, for one thing. Second of all, you go to St. Augustine as a field trip. St. Augustine is a field trip city. You enjoy it much more as an adult, but when you're young, that's where you go to have an embarrassingly long car ride, bus ride, to get to there. You like the attempt at humor in the stories? I can just ignore it, so it's not a big deal. They don't add sound effects. If they had some voice actor reading this out to me, I would probably listen to it just fine, honestly. But I don't know how happy I would be if the story was more pressed upon me. As I've said from day one, they hired me to do a job. I am here to clean the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. And every text message you send me doesn't tell me who sent it, is wasting your own money. As a northerner, you were in awe. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Kitty. As a Floridian, I'm proud of St. Augustine for what it represents. As an old millennial, I don't give it the proper respect it deserves, most likely. Like, the second level house is supposed to be haunted, but they start finding all the explanation for the shit they thought was spooky. That's fair. And I guess they probably do it to give some sort of interaction with the player, because otherwise we would be doing this map for an hour and 10 minutes and not have any interaction with the game. Some people, I guess, don't like that. Frankly, I think if they stopped sending me text messages, it would be all too soon and a glorious gift. At the end, they talk about something shot past them and left only a dirty gray feather, and that must have been the soul leaving the house. And I'm like, dude, you finally get the bird in the attic. It's like Life is Strange. They let the bird back in. There's that one TikTok of the guy in the construction building the house, and they just grab the bird that's hanging out inside the rafters, and the bird's just like, oh nope, this channel's gotta go, and the bird's just like the entire time. Birds make some wild noises. If you do something that birds don't like, they will make some wild noises at you. Now the question is it because this temple was most likely buried under the sea is why it still has what I'm assuming to be gold still on top? Because, like, didn't they say that the pyramids in real life had some coating of you know, beauty that was stolen over the years? Here, the damn thing seems like it's made out of, at least plated with gold. People are going to steal this. People are going to come with a hammer, knock off a chunk of this pyramid, and that'll be the end of it. Hi, it's Cal. I'm on my way back to Rushless to see what's going on. That was it. There have been reports of volcanic activity along the entire Pacific Rim. Yeah, that happens. This really doesn't sound good. The famous part of the British getting at the insides of some of the harder ones, which is the last hurrah. Carve ass butt. Ass. Ass butt. And that's a signature. That's a signature you can trust. My dentist appointment is finally tomorrow. My periodontist appointment. I just took some ibuprofen before stream, and it was only my second dose of the day. Making very slight progress that will amount to nothing because it still hurts just as much as it did 2 weeks ago. But now I get to see a specialist, and that is the most exciting part. And part of me wishes I'd just not been a pussy and gone 2 days ago, but I just wanted to go home after working. I don't think that's, you know, is that so hard? It's so hard to want to go home and say hi to my family and and hang out in my own space. I don't think so. Teeth hurting sucks. What's worse, teeth hurting or eye hurting? I don't know, man. Teeth hurting is real bad. Eye hurting, I think, is worse. That'd be a fun tier list. Have you been eating a lot of yogurt and shit? No. No, not really. Either makes you want to go to sleep until it stops. And I gotta say, sometimes that has been a deciding factor on whether I wanted to stay up or go to sleep. It's like, well, do I want to stay up and watch another video? Or do I, you know, my teeth are gonna hurt. More specific, I keep saying my teeth. It's not my teeth. It's my gums. My teeth are, you know, fine. They're as fine as they're going to be. It's not my teeth, it's my gums. So I think it's probably maybe some form of gingivitis, maybe? I don't know. On the referral they sent to the place to the place, it said something like gingiva. So it kind of looked like maybe some form of gingivitis. Eat soft shit when it hurts. Let me tell you this. Any cold kills me. It destroys my gums. I'm able to like drink some things because, you know, you just keep it on the other side of your mouth, but putting like a cold liquid onto the gums that hurt it hurts so much. And not only does it hurt so much, but it sets off like a chain reaction for like hours later. It's kind of like setting off a bomb, and you only get like the repercussions later. You tried warm saltwater rinses? You know, I heard people talk about saltwater gargles and things like that. I think that's supposed to be more for teeth themselves, right? I could be wrong though. I have heard of those. I haven't tried them because by the time I notice my teeth hurting, my gums hurting, I've usually gone to actually take some pills. Take those pills. Poor baby. You're sweet, baby. I'll be fine. I'm a grown-up. I have a human body. Human bodies are fallible. They fall apart. Want me to take you? No. I want you to rest. I want you to enjoy your morning. We'll hang out together and do the other errands, but that one's a little earlier. Don't you fret none about me. Speaking of doctor stuff, though, I got my sleep apnea study back. I got my sleep apnea report back. And I'm still processing the information. But I feel like it's important to say that I actually have, and let me see what the exact wording was. Hold on. Severe obstructive sleep apnea. Still, I am a fucking champion. 20 years on. 20 years going. Number one of not breathing while they sleep. Hell yeah. Everyone in this family thinks they're good at sleeping. Who sleeps with a machine? Only me and people in weird fan fictions. That's whom. What else did they say? Yeah, I was telling Kitty, respiratory events. There were 230 obstructive apneas. And along with some hypernium apneas, which is like a partial apnea, It averaged to 63 events, which is above the normal range. Also, Kitty, I forgot to tell you the next line. Snoring was present. It's like, no shit. Recommendation: in-lab attended CPAP iteration. It's saying in-lab attended. AutoPAP. I've heard of some different options other than the CPAP that people have been talking. What the hell is an AutoPAP? I've had a CPAP for 20 plus years. Like, what exactly? Oh, that's the Groundhog Day musical. AutoPAP. What is an AutoPAP adjusting machine?
Today we'll be talking what is the auto-adjusting CPAP, auto-titrating CPAP, or the APAP, which many of you have heard. Let's clarify first what PAP therapy is. PAP stands for positive airway pressure, for those who are not aware.
Ball guy.
Now, this is a specified pressure delivered into the individual's airway to keep it from closing or experiencing an apneic event or apnea. Now, the most common type of apnea...
I wish we can get our nerdiest person to explain this. This guy doesn't look like a nerd. He doesn't.
...is obstructive. So for the remainder of the video...
He sounds
that's
like
what
a
we'll be
nerd.
referring to. It is also the type of apnea that the auto CPAP is used for. This form of apnea can be based on neck circumference, chest circumference, and weight, to name a few. Again, PAP therapy will be used to keep the...
This one's for the fatties. Anyone with the huge gorilla necks, anyone with the huge guts, that's the AutoPAP.
...airway open to eliminate or reduce apneas. It is like the CPAP, which is a continuous positive airway pressure machine.
Similar,
The CPAP machine,
but
however,
different.
will be one set pressure anywhere between the ranges of 4 to 20 cm H2O or centimeters of water pressure, which is the minimum and the maximum these machines.
What are you talking about? Water pressure? Are you gonna power wash my throat?
Or centimeters of
Giggity?
water pressure, which machine, however, will be one set pressure anywhere between the ranges of 4 to 20 cm H2O or centimeters of water pressure, which is the minimum and the maximum.
I don't know what the
these
hell he's
machines
talking
go
about.
to. Most likely, that pressure the CPAP will be set on is determined by a sleep study in a sleep lab or a hospital, which is called a titration study. But unlike the CPAP, the auto
Nerds come in more
adjusting
varieties.
CPAP or APAP being similar as it is a continuous
That kinda
flow.
looks like a hustler.
Instead of one pressure, continuous flow. Instead of one pressure,
Adjust inhalation and exhalation pressure based on breathing.
the auto machine is
So
set
it's
on
just
a
more
range of
complicated?
pressure. This pressure is specified by the doctor, which could be the full range of 4 to 20 or any combination in between to provide you with the best therapy needed. As the patient gets into his or her deeper stages of sleep, the airway will start to close. As this takes place, the APAP machine will sense a resistance and gradually...
The APAP machine will wake you up and slap your face until you stop not breathing in your sleep.
increase until the airway is open, therefore still providing the constant airflow while adjusting to a patient's specific needs. Now, I have had patients mention that the auto CPAP is like the ramp feature. It is not, as the ramp would most likely be used for a CPAP with a set pressure. That set
I hate the ramp feature.
pressure may be too high for the patient, especially at first. Patients just starting on CPAP therapy experience the prescribed set pressure is overwhelming throughout the night. Therefore, with the ramp, it would start at the lower pressure.
With the ramp
usually at
ranch.
base of 4, and slowly increase at the time the patient chooses, anywhere between 5 to 45 minutes. The pressure would increase from the low pressure to the prescribed set pressure. Eventually, the ramp could be changed or shut off completely as the patient gets used to the higher set pressure. So though similar in that they both provide continuous pressure, as I stated, the settings are different and the time frame the pressure gets delivered is also different. Either way, I recommend getting tested and finding the sleep play.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds exactly the same as the CPAP, except that it changes the amount of air based on whether you breathe in or out. I don't really give a shit. Just give me something where I can fall asleep and not jerk myself awake. I'm a little surprised at how many events I had. I must have slept better than I thought I did. Or I slept terribly, obviously. But I wonder if I wonder if I slept through so many of those events. You kind of need the ramp because even at medium levels, you feel like you're being inflated like a balloon, and that shit's uncomfortable. I am fully supportive of the ramp feature for other people. If it helps people want to use the CPAP, I am glad it's there and wish it the best. I hate the idea of turning on my CPAP and it is at a low pressure, and I have been doing the CPAP for so many years that at a high pressure that okay. I'm going to give you a really gross example. If there's any young people, they shouldn't be watching the stream anyways. But I want you to live through the night with no headaches. Agreed, Kitty. It's my usage of the CPAP is basically the equivalent of just jorking your shit as hard as possible for 20 years. Just absolutely wailing on your hog. And when you have the ramp feature, the ramp is incorporating some foreplay and some sensuousness that you're used to just slam jamming that meat just from the live long day, and now you're suddenly courting, and it's like, okay, I get it, but I'm just used to just, and now I've got to be way more calm with this. You're old and tired. Yeah, sometimes you just want to jork your shit. And I don't think the CPAP creators understand that. That said, I've known a lot of people who have CPAPs who have not used them consistently, who have been like, oh, I didn't use my CPAP a few nights like last week. And that shit is mind-boggling to me. It's like, I'm sorry, you didn't what? What do you mean you didn't use your CPAP? How? First of all, once you know you have sleep apnea, how do you turn off that part of your brain that says that says, oh, you had 230 obstructive sleep apneas through the night. Any one of those, if you roll a couple natural ones, you could just be dead. You could just die. Isn't that cool? The silent killer. I do want routine, Kitty. If they're not dependent on them, good for fucking them, but they need it! It's not that they have a CPAP because they have sleep apnea. These are people who got the CPAP later in life, and they don't like the feeling of it. It's like, cool, tough shit. Do you like dying? Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean, but what do you mean you didn't use it? It's the silent killer. 230 obstructive. I know not everybody has 230 obstructive events in one evening of sleep. Wish you could have that. Speaking from my experience, just because you say they need it may not mean you do. When it comes to sleep apnea, if you have a sleep test, let's not even talk about me, because I'm obviously an awful candidate and I have sleep apnea up my ass. let's say you have, it said on here what the normal amount of apnea is. Hold on. Oh, never mind. Apparently my recording started at 11:24 and ended at 5:35 and gave a total recording time for 371 minutes. That was 6-ish hours. That's not bad. That's not bad. Not great. Florida man kicked out for trying to arm wrestle Gaston for Belle's hand. Again, that's not a joke. That's shit that actually happens. Ugh. Get a real name. I almost clicked Felinoid's name just then. Asked if your sleep was better than before the start. You're like, nah. And everybody is different too. Maybe everybody's situation might be different. The whole reason I started was because I was having huge, horrendous headaches that would not go away, that were debilitating, that were taking over my quality of life every second of the day. And I've had 3 sleep tests so far. 2 of them have been at laboratories. Or not laboratories. They've been at sleep study locations. And the 3rd one was taken at home. The first one, I had no idea about sleep apnea or anything like that other than what I'd been told going into the test. I was only without a CPAP, without a machine, without a breath machine, for about, I think it was an hour. They left me on the machine for like an hour, and then they woke me up and they were like, "Yeah, sorry for waking you up, but you have sleep apnea. We're just gonna put you on a machine now." And I was able to sleep pretty well the rest of the night. I did have to have on the nose things. Felinoid, do you have like the face mask, or do you have the one with the nose capulums, the one you have to put inside your nostrils? They were crowing over it, putting me down to outright. They were crowing over it, putting you down to outright 0 events per night. Fun numbers, I guess, but you're always tired of the same event. I understand. I get it. I just know that, at least for me, anytime I don't have my CPAP, I am 1,000% more tired the next day. But I also have a relatively, like Kitty was saying earlier, I have a pretty straightforward routine in my life. I've mentioned it the other night. I am so routine oriented. It makes my life so much easier. The nose caps you tried first and they cause too much to sleep properly. It's actually worse sleep. I've gotten better at them. My hold on. My thing that I had to do was, like, I had my nose here. It's a really good nose. It's a really good nose. I fucked it up. And I had like a little speculum sort of thing that I had to have during the test, and it was surprisingly not bad. You know, you got to do a field goal above the giant ass. That's what I had to do. Not fully secured. Done a full face since then. Yeah, full face is good. Full face I like. I noticed one day I was, Kitty sent me a selfie because she's pretty and I wanted to see her. And I was about to send her back a selfie, because I'm 17 years old. Kidding. That's a joke. And, I had a giant mark on my face, on my forehead, from the CPAP. And it was straight up 2:30 in the afternoon. I was horrified. So, as a CPAP user to another, be careful that it doesn't leave giant. Not that I give a shit what anybody thinks of me having a medical device. That said, don't need to advertise it. At least not for me. If other people want to, great. Power to you. I don't necessarily want to be like, hey, my neck don't work so good. You want to see me tighten the strap so it's so tight that my jaw starts changing position? My dentist will say that, yeah, that might do something about it. So try not to make it quite as tight as I did, I guess. Like being a fighter aircraft. Yeah, you can pretend to be Darth Vader. It's the possibilities are endless when it comes to the fun of having severe obstructive sleep apnea. Does that say bras and panties? It does. Two Stupid Dogs had a sale of bras and panties. You ever done that thing in winter where you pull the covers over your head, air supply is coming from a tube, you're perfectly fine now? So, I have a story. So, I have 2 children. And when they were younger, we had the baby monitor. Where basically if you heard a scratch of an ass in that room, you'd hear it because the room would be entirely silent where we'd be trying to sleep and all we would hear is this. And sometimes that would lead into a full-blown cry. And sometimes it would lead into nothing. Sometimes it would just be a cough and they would be 1,000%, back to sleep. So for a long time, it was almost like a phobia of like, I'm so damn tired that the idea of just getting back to sleep and hearing it was like an anxiety. Now, obviously, if they started crying, would be able to hear that very, very easily. But the point of this story that I'm telling you is that it was a blessing to be able to do the prairie dog and go under the blanket. And it didn't really change anything because you could still hear just fine because we kept up the baby monitor pretty loud, which was part of the problem, I think, because it was kind of like, even if they just had a slight hiccup, it'd be like, it's like you sound like a seal. So for the longest time, even after they were well out of that phase, well into, toddler and child phase, it was a very comforting thing to do the blanket thing and have like a little blanket fort. And I think people who don't have a CPAP or an auto-PAP, I guess, can't really appreciate as well how very comforting it is to do the blanket over top. Now that said, I live in Florida, so the temperature on Saturday when we go to Disney World is going to be a delicious 89 degrees. I said delicious, that's positive. It's going to be a really, really shitty 89 degrees. Is it going to rain? I kind of don't necessarily want it to, right? Is it expected to rain on Saturday? No. 100% clear skies. Why you said winter? It's spring now, right? When does it become spring?
Depends on the hemisphere and latitude, Shiden. Generally, around March or April in the northern hemisphere, September or October in the southern one.
Fair enough. It was spring as of a month ago. Yeah, I'm like, it's definitely not spring anymore. We're getting on towards Easter. God, the outside of this pyramid looks, or this palace looks great. We've not even touched the inside. Quarterman only knows 2 seasons, hot and rainy and hot and hurricanes. Hi, Coyote. There is some very short periods of cold, which I love. I love the periods of cold. They're getting fewer and far between, but we did have some cold snaps this year. 20th and 21st of the months divided by 3. Huh. Interesting. I probably won't remember that factoid, but for the moment, I'll say that it's neat. That's one of those like 30 days have September, April noon, and November sort of things, right? Once we're finished with this map, like I was mentioning earlier, this is the last of the, main missions of the game. So we can do any of the DLCs that we have, which is basically everything but Shrek and Wallace and Gromit. And Alice in Wonderland, because I already finished that. And most of Final Fantasy VII, because we only have one left on that map. I'm kind of wanting to do the Lara Croft maps. And I realized today, I was so kind of annoyed with the Lara Croft map because it took so long to clean everything. And I realized I had a completely unupgraded power washer to do that map, and it was huge. People argue...
30 days hath September, but all the rest I can't remember.
That rhymes too. People argue whether those are actually the start of the season or the midpoint or even the season doll, but yeah, fair enough. By the way, Feelanoid, does the TTS and the sound effect, are they more clear now? I tried to make them more obvious which is which. Again, every time I turn a corner on this roof, I run into more slime and muck. I'd like to at least get the outside walls done before I call it an evening. I'm definitely not going late because I'm getting very tired. Not so tired that I'm babbling yet, but we are well on our way to babble territory. Like, April 1st is the start of spring. April 1st is not the start of spring. No. We can go on the equinoxes. I think that's a better idea. I'm perfectly fine with putting my foot down on the spring equinox is the start of spring. Frankly, it always just kind of messes me up to think that December, that Christmas is more or less the start of December. In my head, it's like, well, Christmas is the end of the year. It should be the end of December, or the end of winter. But no, that's not how it works, which is strange to me, but here we are. There really are no major seasons in Florida. It's mostly just summer, slightly less warm times. Sometimes during like Christmas season, like January and February, you might get some cold snaps, but Other than killing off a bunch of oranges, you can mostly suffer through them in t-shirts. We live in a world where summer is like 5 months long, winter is 3, and autumn and spring are like the 2 each made it at best. It sounds not. It sounds like it would feel really awesome to have seasons. I'm not a huge summer fan. I like winter. I always have. Now that said, I have really, really gotten out of enjoying super cold weather. It does not feel good to be cold. It doesn't feel good to be super hot, but there's something about being freezing cold that just hurts. It hurts, and it's like, why? I just... Almost if like you're boiling alive, it doesn't have that same stabbing feeling that cold does. You were talking to an old lady about 2 weeks ago on whether we'd see more snow in April. Haven't had a 5th winter yet, seeing a couple more coming. What about second breakfast? If I complete... First of all, let's complete this first. How is there still something left? There it is. Okay. The problem is autumn and spring are super schizo around here. There's just weeks, even this year, where we have both summer temps and freezing warnings in the same week. We don't have those very often in Florida, but when we do, it's very funny. It's like, it's freezing cold. Nope, it's 90. More and more fake springs each year. Yeah, that deserves a confetti button. Whoa, global warming. Can't do anything to stop it, and it's only going to get worse. Yay. Let's push the GLaDOS button.
You're not smart. You're not a scientist. You're not a doctor. You're not even a full-time employee. Where did your life go so wrong?
This is a long one. There is something satisfying about living in Florida, I guess. The routine is nice, weather-wise. It's like you know, for the most part, what to expect based on the year. Based on the time of year, I guess. Like, it's generally gonna be pretty warm. During the summertime, it's gonna rain a lot. And then it doesn't rain again until the next summertime. You'll get pockets of rain, sure, but during the summer, it rains like every day. Totally do seem to stop it, we're just not going to. I mean, we is strong. It's only like a certain handful of people who are screwing it up for everybody. I don't get it. Why don't the humans just eat their boss? There are more of them. Cleaning the entire outside is only going to get us to 30%. Part of me wonders, like the selfish part of me wonders, like, how people of, you know, the parents' generation or before didn't do anything. And it's like, well, what have I done? What have I done if not actively made the problem worse? I don't know about that much worse. I try not to waste power. I try to be good with energy as best I can. You know, internet aside, you know, special projects aside. I think I don't talk politics with my family anymore. I rarely did anyways, but I think there's like some really rational people in my family who are just on this one topic just very stupid. Very stupid. It's like you have a stupid opinion. I think I've reached babble phase, by the way. I hope the things I'm saying make sense, because I'm like, oh, I'm getting highway I'm getting highway hypnosis cleaning this wall here. So if I'm like, well, you should just not talk to, you should just tell him to shut up, then yeah, then I'm not making sense. I'd like to continue cleaning this wall. I think this is the last bit of the outside wall, which would be a perfect closing spot. We're getting very close on the outside. The inside is going to be a doozy. Anyways, I didn't finish that story. I don't generally talk with my family about politics, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, some people in my family definitely have that mentality. I think life is a lot happier now that I just don't talk about it anymore or think about it. And I know this is not new territory, but like with family, when you live out in the middle of the sticks with somebody who has a flag hanging outside, and when you're not ultimately political to begin with, sometimes you just roll with the crowd, even if it's to roll off the edge of a cliff like lemmings. And for me, it's like, I don't necessarily care what happens. I've done everything I needed to do in my life. Everything else is just gravy. But what kind of world are we leaving for our children? It was rough for a while. Sometimes people don't get it. People are just in their own heads of like, how could you possibly think this way? And it's wild, because it's like, I could give you plenty of reasons. Will you listen? I don't think so. I remember talking to, I think it was like during the BLM movement, and they're talking about like, you know, people blocking streets and stuff and arresting everybody, and it's like, I know why they think that, because, or at least partially, I know why they think that, because, you know, a lot of it is working in healthcare. People blocking ambulances, like, yeah, I don't agree with that either. It's like, don't ever block an ambulance from trying to save someone's life. That's ridiculous. That's not anything to do with anything. Where's the rest of this pyramid wall? Almost got done with this. I mean, that said, at least you still talk to yours, so you have that going for you. I want to get the rest of this wall. Like 0% left, feels like. Hear that Drake got a streaming deal on Kick? Kick really is the cesspool of the internet, isn't it? Like, people who get banned from everywhere else and who get canceled from everywhere else, they start things on on Kick. Where's the rest of this? That's good. Are you part of it? Are you part of it? Oh, god damn it, you are? Ugh. No wonder. I realize the Destiny's in plumbing. I mean, you always see the thumbnails on YouTube. It's like, these people who have voted this way their whole life are now seeing things with different lights. Like, okay, cool. I don't know how that helps anybody, but here we are. Like, you can say one thing, but I think you're very close on this. So this on the inside is what we'll need to do next. Jesus, it's so big. It is so enormous, and I don't want to do it tonight. Is there any extra walls that we did not finish out here? Yeah, I'd like to finish at least the outside walls, which apparently extend all the way in here. I learned that. Done echo chambers and then Facebook. It's all too eager to enable them on the money. Facebook is a disease, and it's, what is it, getting way worse because now they incorporated like new dystopian chatbots that like talk to you about your day, and it's like, get out of here, Tamagotchi. I need you to not talk. Why am I talking about Tamagotchis? I am so tired. Let's do this palace archway. You know that feeling when you've been up for, what time is it? 10 o'clock plus 5, 17 hours. It really doesn't feel that long. Facebook has been the echo king for ages. I feel like getting rid of Facebook was one of the best moves. Facebook is awful. But most social media is. People have all sorts of reasons not to get rid of it. It's like, oh, my high school roommate's on there. It's like, who gives a shit? Do you talk to them? Do you ever think about them outside of getting their updates on how badly they miss their ex? Grab this, as long as we're here. Whole nation full of walled gardens, gated communities in the worst sense. When did I get off Facebook? It feels like it's been many, many years. I'm very happy that it's no longer. It never really was in control of my life. I was never like, I gotta post this to Facebook. Like, is the dopamine hit when somebody pushes a plus on your post nice? Sure it is. Who wouldn't like hearing that your post was fun? But is it worth it? Is everything else on that hellscape worth it? A lot of dirt in here. There we go. They've been doing power washing at the resort. It's like every time they power wash, it's like ding, ding in my head. I'm just going over the same spot 6 times because they can't find that last little bit of dirt. But they're professionals. They don't even play. Where's this last bit? Ah. There's at least some of it. Full control of your life is an illusion. Even a solo bunker, there would be effect vectors, power interruptions, entertainment. I say you get rid of everything that came out after 1965 and just watch old Bugs Bunny cartoons. That sounds like the best option. Okay. I can't find the last little bit. I think that's... Let me take one quick loop. Let's take a quick loop and see how we did. We're at 31% done. There we go. I said get rid of video games. Listen, if you believe I am in full control of what is coming out of this beak at any given time by this point in the stream, after on a Friday, on my Friday anyways. Oh golly, I am so tired. Let's do this again. Not this specifically, but let's finish up the other game on Saturday, and then we'll be able to move on to something even more exciting. That is for later, though. I'm tired. Thanks for hanging out, guys. That was fun. Have a lovely evening. Go pet a kitty. I will kiss a kitty on the face. And that's a double entendre, because I have cats. Bye. Mwah.
I want to let you folks know you've been a lousy audience. So get lost. See you later.